Music Multiverse listeners, welcome to Beyond Your Radio. This is Unknown Sundays. If you're not familiar with it, it's time to talk about another band, an artist, something in the music multiverse that might be relatively unknown, missed by some, our watchers, collectors, hell, even myself might be interested in a rabbit hole to go down that comes from the past, the present, and who knows, could still be going today. If this is your first time here, welcome to the program. There's multiplicity of programs, but this one is Unknown Sundays. This is an extension of the article section on beyondyourradio.com, where I've written this entire article in the full details with links to all of the albums, the names, the people, and everything I reference. If you're not subscribed, well, maybe you should be, because this is where you get your new music. And when I say new music, it's everything. It's all that we can muster, any album, any number of rabbit holes. We don't do the same old things all the time. Please feel free to leave a comment if you choose to. I respond to all of them. Of course, if you like what you like, give us that thumbs up. Of course, there's a bell thing too, I guess, that'll help you. Anything to help the algorithm to find us, so you find us, so you can keep finding us and find these shows. So let's get this going. Today's journey talks about the journey itself in a way too. The band, finding one, can be an excruciating work of time to get to, or that you may never get to. One of the greatest crimes now against the music multiverse is the vast amount of music that is made in all categories. With the ability to get something out so fast to the masses without proper technical production and channels, or quite possibly even proof that you actually did work on the music at all, AI, it has become almost impossible to be assured of a music listening experience of success. I'm at a 48-year veteran in this music listening and seeking experience, and it all started first for me, like those of my age and younger, with our family's music collection, right? That availability, 5 years old, I'm in the living room, I've got a headset on that's bigger than my entire head, weighs more than me, and probably is the reason I have neck pain. Dated, but very true. Today, the search doesn't necessarily start in the collection. Even with my own daughters, they don't come down here and grab stuff, which I wish they would. But they have the ability, and honestly, to get to hundreds of thousands of albums in an arrow whim on a simple keyboard stroke. Is that finding stuff? No, I can't even imagine what would have become of me if I would have stayed, if that would happen during my time. I would have never left my house. The effects might have been traumatizing, causing me to never get anywhere, pursue hockey, coaching, finding love, and building a family. I would have been connected into the music 24/7, attempting, like I am these days, while working full-time, trying to listen to and find everything and anything possible. Today's Unknown Sunday of 2026 features the painstaking time it has taken me to get to this international band called O.R.k, a supergroup of sorts that progressively formed in 2014, and it would be a decade before I would even hear a single sound, even though in that last part of the decade, I actually had an album in my possession. This is O.R.k on Unknown Sundays 2026, a one-year journey in 5 interesting albums. I owe this discovery to K-Scope Records and an online retailer record search through the digital discount bin, we'll call it. Not that's what I like to do. I'd rather go to an actual record store, but predictability in their buying habits versus these people that are in a little bit better area. It's just the way it is. I love my local record store, but I have 17,000 CDs, and sometimes that might be what the record store actually has. So particularly on this occasion, I'm drawn to some final priced for sale items. Record labels had to move old stock. We get it. The question can be, how old, how far back does it go? So I started reading the descriptions, potential comparisons, or just maybe got involved in the whole well-written explanation or reviews of this album. And you don't get this usually, okay? I love the thrill and unpredictability of the search. I bought albums just on basis of looking at the cover, and we've had that conversation before. But when somebody goes through the painstaking process of actually communicating what the album is and has it listened to it as an owner of a record store, I think that's an amazing accomplishment. So purchase this, I did, and here it is. This is Ramage Head by O.R.k, and this is from 2000 and oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget now. Um, what did I say, 19 maybe? Yeah, probably. Um, I did this purchase back January of 2024. And I didn't listen to it until I discovered that in the pile of purchases, it had been neglected due to the thinness, maybe. I mean, it's in this pile over here, and it's relatively thin, so it might not have stood out as much as the thicker CD cases. Um, I wasn't ready for the journey, maybe either. I don't know, but I can say until I purchased another K-scope recording, this inner sleeve. There's an inner sleeve in these, and this is K-scope's records. Okay? And at the time, this one here, I'm taking it. There's what I'm looking at. Anyway, so I've got this, and I start to see familiar albums and people. Um, I see Porcupine Tree, which I'm familiar with, which is the album actually that I had that had the sleeve in it. Um, but then I see Pineapple Thief. I see Blackfield, which I'm very familiar with. I have all their records. Steven Wilson's there. I have quite a bit here and there. I think I'm missing some things there, but there's No Man. That was there's an album called Housekeeping that I did for Album for Today. This is Steven Wilson's offshoot kind of thing with I'll get to his name in a minute there. Um, he Tim Bonus, and a fantastic box set that I couldn't get my ears off of. It was just so magnificent. And then I'm like, I see O.R.k on the I see or on the list of those in there, and I'm like, wait a minute, don't I have that record? So I'm about ready to play it, but then I realized that this was the one that has Serge Tankian on it from System of a Down, and I'm like, okay, I don't mind Tankian. I like him in System of a Down more so than solo, but I understand the power of the vocal and what he brings, and I'm like, well, that's interesting, but. Then I realized this band has been around since 2014, and they've got these other records. So instead of going to Ramage Head, I kind of wanted to start at the beginning. So, but one little quick thing before that, I knew it was time to listen to it. Hell, I was also reminded of it of it again because Andy Edwards, the YouTuber, drummer for Robert Plant, Frost IQ, solo artist as well. He's done some great records. He's got them opening his I don't know, we'll call it Jazz at Jellyman's or Live at Jellyman's. And I'm like, wow. I mean, I wish I, had no ties and just would have gone because that seemed to me like what a way to christen that place. It lost its virginity to O.R.k. So and Tim Bonus was there, I believe, too, and he played drums for the band. So I do have the link to some things just to prove that it happened. I'm not making this shit up. So a very cool progressive rock night in the moment of 2025. I wish I'd been there, but you can't always get what you want. This is a project of LEF, which just stands for Lorenzo Esposito Fornassari, Italian singer, worked with Bill Laswell, Lisa Gerrard, Ben Harper, and many others in soundtrack work too. He plays keyboards. Then there's Colin Edwin, Porcupine Tree bassist, Carmelo Pipitone, guitarist, indie rock Italian band that was called Marta Sui Tubi. I do not know that band, but I'm interested in going down that rabbit hole. Lee Patrick Mastellato was a drummer, and he was the drummer for King Crimson, and he's in this. So there is a warning I'll give you on Left's vocals. You will not hear it on the first record distinctly. But as you move through these 5 albums and get to each, you're going to find evidence of whom he sounds like. Okay. In fact, it's incredible in some cases. Don't let that distract you, because I think if I would have listened to this too, it would have distracted me. So you start at the beginning unless you already know who they are. This is the placement of now of O.R.k, which I truly believe was rooted in a progressive rock sound, especially the beginning, the 2 first records. Okay. In Flame Rides in 2015, just a year after their formation. Now, remember, these are all professionals that have been in bands, so they know what to do and how to get it done, and they have a sound. So this is the album I wind up starting with, In Flamed Rides. And I'm super glad I did. It would help with the positioning of the lead singer's voice, because there's not only one vocal he can do. He's got quite the range, and that even transcends into the next album, the next album, the next album, based on the band positioning, the pushing of everything, and what they do. I love this as a starting point. I love the progressiveness of a record. I love the rock detail of it and the ability for it to have a hint of grungy attitude and chord structure too. Um, it also has a flair and tenacity for like an alternative type of prog. And that's fantastic. That's the Hakens of the world, and Discipline and others. The minute I heard the record from start to finish, it was like wanting the next episode of a TV show. Get that next record on, right? And I'm lucky and fortunate enough that I have the service. So, damn it, where do I go? I look and I go, well, wait a minute. It's not there. No, yeah, I had to go to Bandcamp to grab it. So Soul of an Octopus is on Rare Noise Records from 2017. And this one comes with a bit more Faith No More fever. Obviously, that's still continual sinister, like alternative prog. And that's right. It's not going to win anything in that age of 2017. It's so well done. It's an excellent record, but you get Europe, and that's where it ends, because in the U.S. at that time, 2017, what do we have? We got Cardi B, we got The Weeknd, we got Taylor Swift, we got Kendrick Lamar, Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber, and Post Malone. I wouldn't have jumped over the pond either. There's no reason to. We're you could be in a festival, and that's, okay, great, all right? And they've done that. I didn't really look. This album is also the first time you get a true taste of the vocal range of him, Lef. I call him Lef. That's like an easy acronym to get things. And how it could find a comparison to the lead singer of a prominent grunge alternative vocalist that died in May of that same year. I'm sure you know who it is. However, the album sticks to flipping the musical script with progressive nature, instrumental delivery of groove, and even keyboard sounds and production that is just so well composed. Again, not a surprise considering the cast of characters involved and their talents. This is a supergroup that has a little of that edge and unpredictability because of the sum of the parts. So where was I on this? I'm digging every minute. Here I am, right? 2015, 2017, every album, even finding Expectations now on the next record, right? And the next record is this. And it's a fantastic approach to putting it all together, because it's kind of got this good songwriting that works for the whole. It's got this crescendos here and there that are necessary. A complete vocal 180 degrees, sometimes low register, or full-on progressive grunge banger like Dirty Rain that has it all. Fantastic approach to putting it all in a song, allowing all of it to shine. The genres, the spit, the vinegar, and the melody and the riff. It's everything. It's everything you want. I kind of give this to you in this vein, okay? Nothing against Rush. I love Rush. I love Geddy Lee, but everybody who talks about their first getting into their vocal of Geddy Lee was the problem, right? Everybody says it. Oh, the band's totally talented, but I don't get it. This band is like this, only they don't have the Geddy Lee vocal. They got this banger vocalist left. And it's in this progressive rock wheelhouse. Yes, keyboards. Yes, some crazy shit that's not real. This is Rush on a steroid. That's kind of like this thing I'll give you. So Serge Tankian is on this, A System of a Down, courtesy of Left's connection with Bill Laswell. Laswell produced some of his stuff. It's a great track to be on, and there's a deluxe version of this album, and son of a bitch, I don't have it, which has 3 different remixes. Guess who does it? Bill Laswell. And we got to get Bill Laswell on our Album Wars. Anyway, so find a very intense alternative progressive fused rock position on this record. It is, again, we go from here to here to here. We're stepping up. We just are. It's a great record. I think there's even parts of this that could have been in North American. The Soundgarden, Faith No More, Porcupine Tree, Adrian Belew, System of a Down, and of course the King Crimson side of this too. All of this spills over and crushes on the next record as well, which is Screamnasium, which features Alyssa, who is a prominent Italian singer in pop rock, and she's on the song Consequence, adding her harmony, melody, and a pop rock reach. But this is an acoustic electric thing, kind of like a progressive all ballad of sorts, and when she sings, there's kind of like a holding orchestration that's with it, and it takes Left and puts him in the backing vocal. Another top-notch record, and I'm smitten again. So four quality records that have never, ever probably even been mentioned in North America. Maybe Canada. Maybe Canada had their ear on this. I don't know. Fire Hose of Falsehood released last year, and it was on my list of albums in there. And I, because I knew this was going on with me, with this sitting there, and I couldn't get to it because of everything I'm doing, I let it sit. And I'm going to tell you right now, out of the albums of 2025, it may have bumped somebody out. It just may have, given the listens I've given to this. I listened to this the week of writing the article. Now I have, obviously I had more expectations, being what I've already gone through with the first 4. So dynamic use of vocalization within the tempest of the music they created. There's no scope of work they can't manage, they can't progressively change or find a place for. This time they call upon John Wesley, who toured with Porcupine Tree, to get in on the epic kind of guitar contribution that just magnifies the incredible songwriting, and the mask becomes the face, which is elegantly placed one track prior to the end, and it has this Radiohead-like position for how it's delivered, and the timing of it within the mix is perfect, and the lead to the final track, which is tremendously well thought out in place.
I realize the mask becomes the face sometimes. Oh, it shines the face. Friend, oh my friend, don't let blows tear you down. I'll lead you to the darkest night, and you try again, day by day by day.
Her hose of falsehoods again is in a position of another fantastically done album, minus the title maybe, depending, because there is a novel called Fire Hose of Falsehoods, and it's a graphic novel, and I don't know if this was kind of based on that. I didn't have the amount of time to go into that, but there's places in this recording that hit me differently than the prior records, a little bit more so. There's a bass and vocal change in here that has a Pucifer moment or two, and those are really cool, and even a thrillingly mellower side of like a Trent Reznor project on two of the songs. Don't forget where this all came from. This is still placed within the elements of what got us here: progressive rock. Cello and guests and fancies abound throughout, yes, but the basis is progressive rock and the intensity, and they never back down from it. And that's what makes this acronym band an incredible late find in the music multiverse. Do I know what it stands for? I don't. I don't know why the R is tipped. I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly. I hope they break the waves of the Atlantic and are able to reach our audio shores and waves more often. I know there's more they can bring to the table. I mean, come on. It just, when you listen to this, you're just gonna feel it. The vocal power and range is insanity. The progressive rock blending, the production, even though that range is familiar, it's ridiculously good. Again, rock and progressive rock is not dead. It's far from it. Dive In. That's the last track on the new record that states the same thing I'm telling you. They will not let you down. I promise you. Studio albums by O.R.k. In Flame Rides, 2015. Soul of an Octopus in 2017. Ramage Head in 2019. That's the only album I possess in my collection. Screamnasium 2022, and Fire Hose of Falsehoods in 2025. Join me next week for another Unknown Sundays 2026. I'm holding out, hoping we can do the one we've been trying to get to with me and Jeff DeYoung. We're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube. All about articles, videos, and a podcast coming soon. Albums, bands, artists like these, bands like these. Anything we can get our hands on. Go Beyond Your Radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. Thank you for watching, and happy listening.